Last night was a good one, aka Patters. Just as a film buff. Finally, after all of this time, I was reunited with an old friend. Thank you, Amazon. Amazon put this movie on Prime. I had watch listed this movie. I don't even know how long ago. Maybe even 10 years ago. To Live and Die in LA. It comes up available. I had a similar shock, euphoria moment when Barfly became available. Showed up on my feed. Same fashion. And everything stops. Everything stops. I have to watch this. I have to watch this movie. That's what this show is all about. That's what I want to share with you guys. To Live and Die in LA, we have to go.
Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Down production. Take one.
Action.
What are the films I need digital? What do I need? So at one time, it was Transformers the movie. I remember having to buy that. Now we're talking about the animated 1986 super classic. I bought that through the Microsoft store on Xbox. So I would watch this. They had this amazing Xbox documentary. So I would have that, and maybe Silicon Cowboys and Transformers. And then eventually Transformers became available on Amazon Prime. Same things happen. I have it on my watch list. It populates. It comes up, jumps into my feed. My head explodes. There's fireworks. All these firecrackers, fireworks, all of these things. And I purchase. Same thing happened with Barfly. All that jazz. We talk about this. All that jazz not available on digital. Now, Tubi, Tubi, they have it from time to time, and they have it for a couple months straight, and it cycles on and cycles off of Tubi. So I'm always checking Tubi when that's available. Kids, not available. Crash, the David Cronenberg Crash, the Larry Clark Kids, not available. Brown Bunny, Vincent Gallo, one of my boys, not available. The Girlfriend Experience, Sasha Grey, Steven Soderbergh, not available. I'm running out. I mean, we're maybe down to 4. Maybe I know I'm forgetting one or two. I mean, technically, The Guyver just became available. That was on my list. We did a YouTube video on that. The Guyver live action with Mark Hamill or without Mark Hamill, depending on how you want to look at it. We'll be talking about that. So what made this, why was this movie there? This has a villain played by Willem Dafoe that is absolutely evil, but he's evil in a real world sense. And we have one of the great montage sequences. This movie is about forging legal tender, forging money. It builds the concept, something that I love, that we can have high criminality, but deep down these people are an artist. To do some of these things, you have to be an artist, and this is common when we make movies or see stories. Thomas Crown Affair comes to mind. You can be an artist and be a forger. You can even forge autographs. Willem Dafoe is an artist in this movie. This movie opens with the idea that this guy is an artist. We have one of the best title sequences of all time. Hot pink, lime green, amazing. Neon pink, neon green titles, amazing. Block lettering with cursive script. And Willem Dafoe is able to forge money in a way that it's not detectable. Now, the feds, right? The Elliot Nesses, the hunters, these guys have an idea. They have it somewhat centralized, just cause you can kind of do that back in the day. This is pre-internet. Now everyone does it through Bitcoin, which is crazy. So we have this cat and mouse game happening, and we get this montage sequence where we see him at work. Now, supposedly, this sequence was highly edited because the government or whoever, right, the man, felt like it was too close to reality, too many good ideas. I've longed to re-experience this montage sequence, and it's somewhat early in the movie, so I get my candy. But the movie unfolds, and the plot, what happens in this movie is something I could not have told you until now. We have a obsessive criminal. We have a obsessive hunter, FBI agent, or I don't even know where this guy's from. Our detective is played by Willem L. Petersen. We spoke about him recently because we were doing somewhat of a Silence of the Lambs Hannibal Lecter deep dive, and we finally discussed his 1986 movie Manhunter, directed by Michael Mann. That is the first Hannibal Lecter movie. And he is so wild, so perfect in that. So he's the same character in this movie. He played the two roles 1 year apart. Here he's Secret Service agent Richard Chase. Manhunter, he's FBI agent Will Graham. Richard in this movie is an absolute dick. I think that was intended. He uses he turns people, he turns women to state. He uses his informants for sex. He uses them for compassion. He uses them for a bit of normality in his life. He wants to catch this guy. He wants to catch him at all costs. So much so he brings down his partner, his partner, as we're roaring towards the third act of this movie. And this movie can be identified with the scene in this partner. We talk about identify the third act, please. It doesn't exactly have to be 30 minutes to go. It can be 40 minutes to go. But we get this chase. We get this car chase. We get this. They essentially murder a individual who they thought was part of the crime gang, and the guy doesn't give them any info. And the reason he doesn't give them any info is that he himself, the guy that they kill, is a undercover agent. So it starts to spiral. So we get this thing, this moment where what the good guys are doing is far worse than what we see the bad guy doing. The bad guy is somewhat, maybe he's committing a victimless crime, right? I mean, you have to make that argument. And Willem Dafoe, we can tell in his heart of hearts he is an artist, and he's making the type of money that you can only dream of. He can print his own money. So he's just surrounded by thugs and sex. This movie reaches a point where Richard, our lead Secret Service boy, we don't know if he's going to live and die. We don't know if his partner is going to live and die. We don't know if Willem Dafoe is going to live and die. And as we're building this plot, we have this second tier of characters. The partner, the assistant to Willem Dafoe. The people in the know. The people that know how to do things. That are just watching these. They're almost just like the audience. They're watching these people lose their minds. So we get this movie that is... It's not exactly LA. It takes LA into the docks, into the desert, into the outskirts, into the industry part of the city. Which I like, by the way. we don't have to put the camera inside Los Angeles City. We don't have to LA proper. Everyone gets it at the end. Shocking. The death of our hero is shocking. William Dafoe, shocking. I don't want to spoil it. It's crazy. We're 10 minutes in. I haven't even brought up William Friedkin, our director. We spoke about his Mud movie not long ago. We did a Matthew McConaughey deep dive. We spoke about Bug for the 31 Days of Dread. We know him through The Exorcist. We've done work on Exorcist. Next up should be French Connection, because that's what a lot of people compared this movie to. Dare I say, I'm more entertained by this movie than I am with the French Connection. I think this movie, like Jade, 1995. Actually, wow, 1994. We spoke about his Blue Chips. Jade and French Connection might be with David Duchovny, or no, David Dershowitz, right? Who is David Caruso from NYPD Blue, who left NYPD Blue to get a film career that he never quite got. William Friedkin is known for his car chases. He has a banger here. He has a banger in Jade. He has a banger in French Connection. But we're not here to go through his filmography. The death in this movie is so shocking, and we wrap this movie up. Before we hit the credits, we're to live and die. The living part of this movie is that life goes on, and life goes on through the detective partner and through the assistant. See, their web now is intertwined. The struggle continues. We just took 2 players out, but the cat and the mouse game continues. This is a part of a run of movies where the good guy gets it. The good guy doesn't come out. It's a crime genre that we see these movies time and time again. And we want to say, from this era, from this time, Hollywood adopted this. See, the low budget movies would have to kill the guy. You kill your hero when you're dirty crime movie, gritty crime movie. You have to kill the guy. But when you add some money and you get Die Hard, when you add some money and you get Lethal Weapon, well, you have a budget now. So you gotta make things go boom, and you gotta save this broken detective. Save our broken hero. But in these movies, when you don't have a budget to be impactful, when you can't do explosions, you gotta kill the good guy. That revelation, and I one of the guys I work with helped me pinpoint that very thought. So very thankful to him. To Live and Die in L.A. is a movie to die for. It is a visceral, rough experience. It is a side of the world period that you may not even care about. But you will when you watch this movie. You will think about this movie. I believe we have music too by Oingo. Boingo, let's get the Wang Chung does the music for this movie. Amazing. A.K. Patterson. To Live and Die in L.A. is one of the most criminally overlooked, pun intended, neo-noir crime movies of the 80s, 1985. You have to watch this. This movie should be on your film buff vernacular list. We're not done. We're going to talk about this movie another time. We're maybe, if I put this out there, because I know I have a reach. You guys watch this movie. We'll cycle back. I promise.
Okay, that's a wrap.